All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Guess I'm second to last, which is what you guys normally rank me anyway. So it's a good start to Pac-12 Media Day, and excited to be here. Super excited to be a part of this day today, representing the University of Arizona, and thrilled on where our program's going. Thrilled on where it's gone the last 7 months, and really excited about the team that we have here. Let's say we have two outstanding leaders that we brought with us, Anthony Pandy and Stanley Berryhill, two fifth-year players that have been a part of a lot of coaching changes, have been a part of a lot of different staffs, and both of them had opportunities to go elsewhere at the end of this year, and both of them decided to stay. And they become incredible leaders for our program, and super excited about that. It's personal for me, it's personal for my family to be a part of this university and be a part of our program. My family has embraced Tucson. My wife and my three girls absolutely love it, and we're excited to make it home for a very long time. We've worked extremely hard over the course of the last 7 months to not just change the culture, but create our own culture. We talk about, from the very beginning, on an expectation of really taking a mindset of becoming a pro. And when we say becoming a pro, we talk to our players about being purposeful, being resilient, being original in everything they do. We talk to our team about the values that we have in our program and how important it is that we don't need to live in a world of rules as long as we live in a world of values. And our program and our team has completely embraced it. Our guys have done an unbelievable job academically. Since we've arrived, it's the highest GPA they've ever had. They've done an unbelievable job when it comes to community service. They've done over 700 hours of community service. They've taken care of their bodies, and they understand the importance of being available this fall. We have 93% of our team vaccinated. We have 8 players out of the 118 on the roster that currently are not, and we believe it's a competitive advantage to get vaccinated and to live freely, let's say, in terms of their health and their wellness. And we want our players to take care of themselves in every way, shape, or form. We're excited about some of the things that we've done with our team in regards to We Educate Wednesday. We started a program with our team where they have been able to learn from and hear from some of the very best in all professions, in all walks of life. We've had the 17th Surgeon General of the United States speak to our team last Wednesday. We've had Sean McVay speak to our team. We've had Jim Caldwell speak to our team, and we've had Barry Scheck from the Innocence Project speak to our team. We've had guys like Mike Lombardi, and Howie Roseman, NFL general managers. And then in turn, we've also had professors from our university in everything from indigenous law to African-American studies to Title IX. So we recognize the landscape of college football, we recognize the landscape of building a program, and we are excited to do it. And we've embraced it. We believe in it. We believe Tucson is a special place. We have brought in a lot of transfers that have been at other universities from around the country that have come to join our program. We brought a lot of people back to the state of Arizona. We believe it is our job to recruit Arizona better than it's ever been recruited. And I 100% believe that if you're going to choose a state university, choose the one in your own state, first and foremost. And if we can get guys to come to the University of Arizona from the state of Arizona, we are going to do very, very well. And we also believe in our neighboring states and how important recruiting is there. And we are going to spend every waking moment doing the best job we possibly can to recruit the very, very best to come to the University of Arizona. We hired a great staff. We hired Don Brown, who not even arguably, statistically, is the best defensive coordinator in college football over the last 8 years. And we were able to get him from the University of Michigan. He's led had the #1 ranked defense at Boston College in 2015, the #1 ranked defense at Michigan in 2016, and a top 5 defense for 4 out of the last 5 years. Offensively, we hired Brennan Carroll. For all of you in LA, you must be familiar with the name. It's Pete Carroll's son. And Brennan was at USC. Brennan was with me at the University of Miami, and Brennan was at the Seattle Seahawks the last 6 or 7 years to be our offensive coordinator. And then we hired Jimmy Doherty, who was most recently at UCLA the last 4 years, to come join us and be our passing game coordinator. We believe our staff is as good as it gets. We believe in our players. We believe in our program, and I am extremely grateful to our administration for giving me this opportunity to be here today. So I will open it up to any and all questions that you might have.
Go ahead and come up to the microphone and ask away.
Hi, Coach.
Hello.
You know, all I see is joy. I've been covering this team for a while now, and I love the joy that you've brought to the program. So seeing Ricky Hundley and Chuck Cecil full of joy as well, wanting this more than anything, knowing that you also wanted a job like this and bringing them along has meant a lot to a lot of fans. So what have you learned from those two coaches about the University of Arizona that's helped you?
Yeah, well, thank you. And, you know, joy actually, I want to give some credit there to Steve Kerr, another Arizona Wildcat. And anybody that's done any research and read or listened to any podcast that Steve has done, one of the 4 values of the Golden State Warriors is joy. And I've done a lot of research in my past, and I always felt like if I ever had a chance to build my own program, joy was going to surround it. Bringing in Ricky Hundley and Chuck Cecil and Teddy Bruschi gave me an opportunity to bring in 3 Hall of Famers, and we only have 4. So the fact that we have 3 college football Hall of Famers on our staff in different capacity gives me a great chance to be successful. When it comes to Teddy, Teddy really has done a great job for me from the outside, being an advisor for me, being a resource and running our leadership council. Ricky and Chuck, they exude passion and they exude joy. And what we get from them is every day you have a coach of the safeties and a coach of the defensive line that has done that, been there, been to the NFL, coached in the NFL, played in the NFL, drafted in the NFL, and were some of the best players that's ever played at the University of Arizona. But they love it, and we love having them around, and our players benefit from it.
Also, the uniforms. So there's been a lot of fans asking to bring the uniforms back to what it used to be. And did I get that inkling that we're going to get some new uniforms this season?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell the recruits. Don't worry about the uniforms. We got to play well, and hopefully those uniforms will look good on them. And I think everybody will be happy with the way they look. But I do believe in tradition, and I do believe in basics, and I believe in being able to wear the same helmet for every game.
And speaking about traditions, I only have a couple more. Speaking about, this is my only chance. Speaking about traditions, what game day traditions? Are you going to bring back some that we've had, or are you going to come up with new ones? Like there's a catwalk, they sing the Bear Down song if they win in the locker room.
Yeah, it's like a layup right there. In terms of game day, we are going to try to change as much as we can and embrace what's worked. And for us, we're absolutely going to do the catwalk. We're excited about that. I've always had dreams of being a college head coach one day and getting off that bus with my wife and walking, leading a team, and we're going to do that. We are going to incorporate some new songs. We're going to incorporate a little bit more of a party atmosphere. I really believe it should be the best 4-hour party. That's what college football is, and if you miss out on that, you're missing out on we all missed out on it in 2020. So we need to find a way to get a party atmosphere back. We're going to bring a DJ right in the heart of the Zona Zoo, and we're going to make it as much fun as humanly possible. Then we're going to, in the third quarter, we're going to sing some songs and hopefully win some ball games.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
I was talking to Anthony Pandy earlier, and he said that you were kind of like Thanos when you came here. You snapped your finger and everything changes. First of all, do you know who Thanos is? Do you get that reference?
I Googled it when I heard that. Yes, I know who Thanos is, Michael.
All right. I'm just checking. So How did you go about changing the vibe, the atmosphere, the mindset that existed within the program when you got there?
Well, I mean, I was the authentic me. I didn't know what existed, truthfully. And I didn't really know, that was Thanos' theme song right there. I didn't know exactly, what it was like. I didn't come from, the program. I didn't get elevated up. So for me, it was to come in and be me, hire the guys that I believed in, and make it our program. And where I am most grateful is we had an athletic director and a president that allowed me to do that. And that's how we were able to make the significant changes we made in such a short period of time.
You've been very active on social media since day one. Why did you feel like it was important to put yourself out there like that and promote the program via that channel?
Yeah, well, it's 2021, and to me, that's the best way to communicate with not just our own students, but potential students, prospective student athletes, our fan base, our alumni, and really anybody and everybody that wanted to listen. I felt like, very simply put, we have an incredible situation. We have an unbelievable university. We have a university that is very prideful, that wants to win, that hasn't won recently, but I believe that we need everybody on board. And I've heard the old saying, if you win, they will come. And I always tell these guys, if you come, we'll win. So let's find a way to get everybody in here, and we feel that social media is a great opportunity to do that.
When you say these guys, you mean recruits?
I mean everybody.
Everybody.
Fans, alumni, media. You guys can all come too, cheer if you want. But
That's
no,
not allowed.
I know. But no, the fans, the prospective student athletes, the families, and the alum.
What is your assessment of how recruiting has gone so far?
Well, we can't really speak about the current class. But what I can say is that we brought in, I believe it's up to 14 transfers that have come from other Division I programs, a lot of them from Power 5 programs, that I believe that's recruiting. When they put themselves in the portal and we had to compete to get them, that's a huge part of it. We signed 2 kids in high school. When we arrived, we signed Jason Taylor's son, Isaiah, who's an NFL Hall of Famer. I always believe in pedigree. And from St. Thomas Aquinas, I think he's fantastic, and Isaiah Simpson. And then we also, prior to our arrival, we had 14 other guys that signed, and they have all done an unbelievable job. All 30 of our new players have 100% embraced everything we've asked of them.
Is everyone on board? Did everyone make it academically, so on and so forth, or is anyone from the class not?
Yeah, very proudly to say everyone will be here. We will have 118 players walk in on August 5th. And all 118 will be participating in camp.
Do you know how many of the 118 are on scholarship?
I believe currently we're at 81, or 79, and then we'll hopefully be able to award some scholarships to some guys, just like we'll award the number 1 to the right guy.
What do you mean the number 1?
The jersey number 1 is hanging in the rafters right now in the indoor facility. We had 9 guys that requested it. So they are getting, it's a meritocracy, and they are going to compete to be able to get that number 1 jersey. So whoever does the best academically, socially, with community service on the practice field and the weight room will be able to wear that jersey for the season.
Do you make a distinction between who the scholarship players are and who the walk-on players are?
No. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure I even can name them all, but whoever's the best is really, that's my distinction, if you're good or you're not. And we're trying to get as many good ones as we can, and whether that be a walk-on or not. I do know that we had a couple people that we've been very fortunate to bring in as a preferred walk-on that have been phenomenal players, and extremely excited about some of those guys. But we have some really good young freshmen, and they better be ready to compete.
Do you think the quality of the preferred walk-ons is another indication of kind of like what you're referencing before with the portal, that's an example of recruiting or successful recruiting, or that they want to be here?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe the preferred walk-on program and the idea of it is really just another way to build your roster up. And I think it's super cool that we have that opportunity. And, we get some guys to choose to pay when they could get it for free somewhere else. We really appreciate that, and we recognize that, and we give them those opportunities.
Coach Lynn Harrington, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
All right. You have a boatload of experience in the NFL as an offensive assistant. Particularly, you worked under one of the best coaches in the NFL, Bill Belichick. Can you go over anything that you learned from him and how you want to implement it in the college game?
Yeah, I've been extremely fortunate in the NFL and in college to have worked for some of the best coaches. Certainly in the NFL, most recently Coach Belichick, Coach McVay, Coach Carroll. And all three of them have not only influenced me, but helped me and will help our football team. Coach Carroll and Coach McVay have already talked to our guys. And but with Coach Belichick, I talk with him extremely often. And I will say that the number one thing that I brought to our program is mental and physical toughness. And the idea of doing what's best for the team, if it's not what's best for you, is being mentally tough. And our team knows that. We talk about that, and we try to give our team the opportunity to to be a smart, physical, and tough football team. And I certainly credit Coach Belichick for that message.
I want to follow up on that. Arizona under Kevin Sumlin, the program's coming off 3 straight losing seasons. How do you establish a winning culture, with a program that's kind of been down over the years?
Yeah, they have been down the last couple of years. But if you look back at last season, I mean, they're a minute and 27 seconds away from beating USC. They have a lead. They're up 30-27. First game of the year. Who knows what would have happened differently? They're up 21 points the year before against Arizona State. Who knows what would have happened differently if they wound up winning that game and not losing it? I try not to spend too much time dwelling on that. I've been around a lot of winning programs. I've been very fortunate to say that. I was in the Pac-12 in 2017. I had a chance to be the interim head coach at UCLA for 2 games, take a team to a bowl game. And then when I didn't get the job, I went to the Rams. We went to the Super Bowl. And you see what that's like, and you see what it feels like to be around winners and winning. And it was a pretty phenomenal experience. And then went back and had another good year, and then went to New England to be around, arguably the best coach has ever done it. So we talk about the winning culture, and we don't talk about what happened in the past.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Can I ask you about a few guys who had surgeries and stuff in the offseason and as far as their readiness?
Sure.
Jamari Joyner was one. I guess he had another thing done with his foot. Do you believe that he's going to be ready at the start of camp?
I don't think he'll be ready for the start of camp.
And what is the timetable for him at this point?
That I don't know.
You don't know. Jaden Mitchell.
He's moving well. He'll be ready.
Okay. Jaden Mitchell.
Yep.
He'll be ready?
Yep.
Okay. And Christian Young was another one?
Ready.
He'll be ready? Okay. Well, that takes care of that. Thank you. What's the reception been, generally speaking, when you're talking to recruits, parents, et cetera, offering them the opportunity to come and play for Arizona?
It's been fantastic. We work hard at it. It matters to us. It matters to my wife. It matters to our other coaches' wives. Wives are a huge part of it, connecting with the moms and the dads. And we're very, very actively involved. I believe that, I feel like I'm on more text chains with moms than I am with the kids sometimes. But, the truth be told, it's a situation where we're recruiting very hard, and we're trying very hard to turn this thing around. And we have an unbelievable amount of enthusiasm toward our program and energy towards our program. And I believe if we do things the right way, things will work out really well for the Arizona Wildcats.
Have any of the coaches that you've brought on surprised you at all with their recruiting prowess?
We have some really, really good recruiters. Jordan Paopao, very well known in the Pac-12, is a fantastic recruiter. Jimmy has always been a great recruiter. We have a lot of great recruiters on our staff. I mean, obviously those guys stand out. Kevin Cummings does a great job in this area. But we have a great staff. We have a great bunch of coaches. They're all great recruiters, really. That's part of it. If you're not a great recruiter, you can't do 50% of your job. And if you can't do 50% of your job, you can't really do your job. So those guys are all recruiting as hard as possible to be great at it.
One of your top aides, Matt Doherty, said in spring that Arizona needs to outwork everybody else, out-hustle whatever the national perception is. Do you agree with that stance?
I believe that we need to work as hard as we possibly can. I was once on a team that was told that we're going to do it better than everybody else, and I said, how do you know how good everyone else is doing it? So we're not going to take that approach. We're just going to say we are going to do it as good as we can do it, and we're going to work as hard as we possibly can. And if we wake up early, we wake up early, and go to bed late, and we got to turn this thing around. And our goal is to win as much as we possibly can, and win as many games as we possibly can for as long as we can.
Coach, in the spring, you were pretty invested in the women's basketball team run and that sort of thing. Why is that important, as part of the football program?
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the Arizona athletic program, and I believe that I didn't just sign on to be the head football coach. I believe that I signed on to be a great ambassador to the University of Arizona and to the University of Arizona athletics. If there's an opportunity, to go support another coach, first of all, I mean, Adia Barnes she's an amazing coach. She's an amazing person, and right now she's number one in our building in terms of what she's accomplished. But the chance to really support her, support our baseball team, our softball team. If we weren't having an official visit, I would have been out in Omaha, without a doubt. And for me, this is what we do. This is, if you want to just coach football, just go in the NFL. Stay in the NFL. If you want to embrace a college community and you want to embrace pageantry and you want to embrace social media and you want to embrace the idea of bringing 70,000 people or 60,000 people or many people we can put in there, then go coach college. And that's what I believe in. And I hope to be sitting next to Coach Lloyd on the bench for basketball games as well.
I was actually going to ask about Tommy, with him being a first-year guy and you in that kind of same situation. You've been able to interact at all?
Yeah, I'm much more of a veteran than he is. It's been 4 weeks longer that I had the job than he did. No, we've gone out for dinner numerous times. We spend a ton of time together. We share a lot of, a lot of messages. We share a lot of acquaintances, a lot of people that we both know. He was at my house the other day. I had him get PJ Carlissimo on the phone. I was telling him a story in 1989. I was 13 years old in New Jersey, and PJ was the head coach of Seton Hall Prep, and they were in the national championship game. And I said, he was my favorite coach. He goes, let's call him right now. So it was pretty awesome talking to Coach Carlissimo. It was pretty awesome to have Tommy Lloyd at the building, and we're going to do everything together as much as we can. Thank you.
Hey, Coach, what went into the decision to open up practices again, and do you think that's a competitive advantage for you?
To open up practices, I don't know why you would ever close them, personally. I'll close them during the season, in terms of when it's true game planning week. And, we'll do whatever we need to do there to keep it open for as long as we can. But for the media to be able to, meet with us for a half hour or whatever it might be. But when it comes to training camp or spring football, isn't football great to go watch? And for me, to be able to have people come watch and be a part of it is awesome. I mean, everybody wants to perform in front of others. So it's an opportunity for our players to perform in front of other people, which I think is as cool as it gets. I'd love for our media to see what we're doing. It's a lot better than them guessing. It's an opportunity for them to see how we interact, how we coach, what we do. So, no, I just feel like it's the right thing to do, and that's why we do it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
About 3 more minutes here, guys.
I know that you can't work with the players, like with footballs, doing specific football stuff, but have you been able to form any initial impressions of Jordan McLeod at this point?
Yeah, the hardest position to evaluate without a football would be the quarterback position because you can't ever see him throw. But, we have had that 2 hours a week that we have that opportunity to meet with him. We've had 2 hours a week that we've been able to, during that time also be able to do some drill work. We've been able to do some team runs and evaluate and watch how he is there. I love just to see how he interacts with his teammates. But no, Jordan's doing good. We got a nice, a three-headed monster, Jordan, Gunner, and Will. So we'd like to see one of them step up and be the guy. But right now we'll go 33 for a 99-play practice.
Does Jordan come in at a disadvantage at all because he wasn't able to participate in spring and learn the playbook as quickly as the other guys?
Yeah, I would hope so, because those other guys, if they didn't get anything out of the coaching in the spring, we got major problems, you know? So I'd hope he's at a major disadvantage, but unfortunately, I feel like he's just at a disadvantage. So I'll talk to Coach Doherty about that later. But no, I think that he's doing a great job of trying to catch up. He's doing a great job of trying to learn this thing quick, from what I understand. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard because those guys took almost every single rep.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
The year you had at Florida as a GA and working under Coach Spurrier, there's just, I sort of seeing you here today, it reminds me of the videos of Coach Spurrier when he'd be meeting with the media. Just what kind of imprint did that year have on just your approach to football?
Yeah, well, I was at University of Florida for 7 years, undergrad, student assistant, grad assistant. I went to Florida because of Coach Spurrier. I believe he is the iconic coach. I put him up on the Mount Rushmore, and I have probably watched everything I could that he's ever done. I believe I hired his son on our staff. And I hope to one day be even in the same conversation in terms of the way he managed his football team, the way he called offensive plays, and the way he won games. And we're trying to build our program and build our culture in a very similar way.
What's your favorite Spurrier one-liner or quip?
Oh, man, there's so many good ones, right? Like, I mean, you can't spell citrus without UT is always a classic, but there's a lot of great ones out there, and I learned a ton of football from Coach Spurrier, and I'll never forget that.
You had said regarding the quarterback derby in spring that it was kind of like whoever moves the ball the best or is most productive. Is there anything else that you're looking for from those guys besides that kind of one metric when you're going to make that determination of who the starter is?
No. Whoever moves the ball the best in every period we have. Who moves the football, who gets us down in the red zone, who scores touchdowns. We'll have a lot of competitive practices. I believe that we're going to have a very good defense this year. So let's see what we can do and see if we can move the ball. And whoever does that will be the starting quarterback.
Sure, and one last thing. Being picked last in the Pac-12 South, what's your reaction to that?
Figured as much. So we'll just have to go out there and play really well and see what happens. But, that's just on past performances. That's not on no one's seen our team other than you, Michael. Did you pick us last? Don't answer that question.
No comment.
All right, perfect. With that, thank you very much, Coach.
Okay, thank you all. Have a great fall.